Mahima, with the first query, what are you picking up?
Right, so the first query that we have is from Mr. Murli, who's writing us from Bengaluru, asking about TBO Tech. He's holding 200 shares, bought at the levels of 1626. And the current market price of the counter is 1578. So he's sitting on a loss of around 10,000 odd rupees. Wants to know as to what should be the next course of action. And of course, to answer these questions, we are joined by Avinash. Gorakshakar is the founder and head research at Avinash Mentor, joining us now. Avinash, a very good morning to you and thank you so much for taking out the time. Your view with regards to TBO Tech?
So I think good morning, Mahima. I think if you talk about TBO Tech, my sense is that the business model is very robust. I think they've presented decent Q2 numbers. My sense is that in these kind of stocks you have to look at a compounding kind of return and not a very short-term kind of return. The stock has corrected from its high, but I think if you look at the overall margin outlook and the business performance in Q2, I think the major revenue for this company comes in the second half of the financial year. So we are hopeful that Q3 will be much better as compared to Q2 and on a YOY basis as well as on a sequential basis. So I think one should continue to hold. You have to give a time frame of at least 8 to 12 months here. Hopefully, I think the performance for Q3 should be better. Rather than looking at the short term, I think if the investor can give 12 to 15 months, he can not only recover his loss but make a decent risk reward here.
From Hyderabad is holding 10 shares bought at the levels of 1081. Wants to know as to what should be the next course of action for him. Avinash, what's the view like?
I think he's made a very decent amount of profit, and I think considering the kind of tailwinds we are seeing in the NBFC space, I would not be surprised that the second half of this financial year, Mahima, should be very strong for Piramal Finance. My sense is that since he doesn't have any immediate emergency, he should continue to hold. I think he should expect a decent price post the March 26 number. So I think structurally it remains to be a good hold. I don't think he should book out at these levels.
Okay, all right. The next question that we have is on Chambal Fertilizers. Govind Kumar from Hyderabad is writing in. He's bought at the levels of 570 and he wants to continue to hold this for the next 2 odd years. Wants to know if that's the right thing to do. Avinash, will Chambal Fertilizers be your pick in that space?
Yeah, I think all the fertilizer stocks are going to be in buzz, considering that the budget is likely to present some concessions and benefits to the agri sector. I would say that he's purchased the share at a slightly higher level, but considering the fact that this year we had a good monsoon plus rural demand has been pretty good, I think the next 12 to 15 months should be reasonably good. But in these kind of companies, I think one thing is very clear that in case the monsoon fails or there's a weather kind of problem, then the stock will underperform. So I think as of now, he can hold on. I think he could expect some positive news flows in the budget, and that could be a near-term kind of trigger for the stock.
All right, so that's with regards to where Chambal Fertilizer stands. The next question that we have is from the jewelry space. She's got 1500 odd shares and she's purchased at the price of 11 per piece. Wants to know if she should continue to hold this and what could be the next target for her. Avinash, the stock is currently trading at that 10.5 rupees. Her buying price is at 11 rupees. Do you think it can cross her buying price in the next 1 odd year?
Yeah, I think the overall tailwinds in the gold jewelry space is encouraging, Mahima. But I think, if you look at Titan, Kalyan, Senco, and then you compare PC Jeweler, I think one clear thing is that the management profile, in terms of corporate governance, in terms of, the balance sheet quality has not been great. Of course, PC Jewelers has now settled all their old dues with the banks. But I think this is one of those shares where you need to be a little careful. So I think, any rise, say to 11, 11.5, I think in the near term could possibly should be an exit. I think it's better to put your money in some quality names, where the institutional investors, the ultra HNI investors have got a high degree of comfort. So PC Jewelers would be a sell on rise.
Got the view, Avinash, and welcome to the show. But let's go across to the first caller for today. This is coming in from Mumbai and Udit has a stock query for us. Udit, very good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Mahima and gents, good morning.
Good morning, Udit. Go ahead.
Okay, my query is on Danica Agritech, Punit. I have 50 shares, 1500 a piece. Sitting at a loss. I know this company has got sound fundamentals.
Okay.
I just wanted to know from Mr. Avinash as to how long does he think, based on the valuation of the company, I should be able to cover off my losses in this, and can I add up at the present level?
Udit, firstly, when did you buy into this counter and
24. I think when this shares was around 1519 and it was at its peak at that point of time, I bought it and then I averaged it out when it was going down.
Fair point, Udit. Avinash, on Dhanuka Agritech, would you suggest Udit to continue holding on, and if also, is it a good time to average down on this counter?
Yeah, I think, see, if the investor can hold on for a slightly longer period, because typically, agrochemical companies, Puneet, the first half is supposed to be a much more remunerative quarter. Of course, the second quarter also revenues do come in, but April to September is the peak period. And after that, sales start tapering. But this time, I think one good part is that the monsoons have been very good. Rural demand has been great. And I think Dhanuka Agri has got a very large SQ kind of product kind of base. So to that extent, it's a well-established player, very strong geographical reach, has got a lot of patent for its products. So I would say that, if the investor can hold on for the next, say, 12 to 15 months, only then he can make money. And I think he should average out, because unfortunately he's purchased the stock at the peak level. And today, the stock is 1100 odd. So unless he averages, I don't think, the risk reward can get better. Only if he does that and holds for the next 12 to 15 months, he could get a better decent reward.
Okay, all right. So that's with regards to where Dhanuka Agritech is concerned. The next question that we have is from Arvind, who's asking about Balu Forge and wants a long-term outlook on this. Arvind, a very good morning to you, and how can we help you today? Hi, Arvind, can you hear me? Okay, I think we seem to have lost the caller, but we do have his query, and he wants to know if this is the right time to make an entry into Balu Forge. Avinash, the stock is locked in lower circuit today, but according to you, do you think it makes sense to make an entry right now in Balu Forge?
See, I think first of all, Balu Forge is a engine component manufacturer. They make crankshafts, for the passenger car and the utility vehicle sector. So I think, the product is well established. A lot of marquee investors like, Ashish Kachole have also invested in the company. But I think today the stock is down, considering that some reports have come in that there has been some tax raid on the company, and that is why the stock is going down. My sense is, if the investor has a slightly medium to long term kind of, time frame, then I think he should look at it as an opportunity. This is a well-established company, but I think unless we get some more clarity on the tax rates, we'll definitely like to know that. But overall, I think if the investor has got a high degree of risk appetite, he can definitely buy in. But please remember that in the near term, the stock may underperform.
Have you, Avinash, but let's go across to our next query, and this is coming in on Paras Defense. Our viewer, Sush Devani, is asking this question, holding at 673 rupees per share. And currently holding almost 660 shares. So sitting at a profit of almost 8,000 rupees, not mentioned the time frame. So let me go across to Avinash yet again. Avinash, on the fundamentals, this company has done well for investors over the last few years. Your view on Paras Defense?
But I think Paras Defense, Puneet, the investor can hold on. See, because it operates in a very niche space and has a very healthy order book. And I think in terms of the positioning, I think it is one of those niche players. So my sense is that, at least over the next, say, 12 to 15 months, hopefully the budget is coming in February. There could be some announcements on the defense side. So I think, the investor has made a marginal profit, but if he can hold on for the next 8 to 12 months, I think he could definitely make a better, risk reward. So continue to hold.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Paras Defense stands.
Very quickly for the next query. This is coming from Chennai, and Venkatesh has a stock query for us. Venkatesh, very good morning and welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
It's a very good morning to you, Pete, and your team. See, this is regarding the query of Mahindra and Mahindra Finance. Okay. I am holding 300 numbers at the rate of 349.
Okay, all right.
Okay. And, I've been seeing that for the past 2-3 days, stock prices are going down.
Yeah.
Is it the right place to stay on, or should I give the money to Bajaj Finance, which I am holding some stock?
Okay, and so Venkatesh, largely I think the impact on the share price is led by the quarterly update for quarter 3 on Mahindra and Mahindra Finance. But apart from, I think you said you already have Bajaj Finance, right? And you want to add more positions if the recommendation is to exit. Is that correct?
Correct.
Correct. Got it. Then
can I hold on with the same thing, or should I add more on Mahindra Finance?
And you can hold on to this counter for some more time, so I can get you the long-term view on this, Venkatesh. Okay, you can hold on.
I'm a long-term holder. I would like to hold on for about maybe a year or so.
Okay, a year or so. Got it. Avinash, let me come to you on M&M Finance then. Firstly, because Venkatesh has bought it at 349. Stock's done well for investors, but of course, it's at the higher point of the purchase price. Would you recommend him to continue to hold on to M&M Finance or switch to Bajaj Finance, which he already has? Your view on both stocks?
No, I think my guess is that M&M Finance does a lot of tractor financing, commercial vehicle financing, and both these segments have been doing very well. In fact, tractor sales have been touching new highs. Most importantly, the parent M&M is doing exceedingly well. So to that extent, my sense is that you should expect a decent performance in the second half. Hopefully, volumes grow in both the tractor and the commercial vehicle segment. That will benefit M&M Finance. And plus, on the asset quality, a lot of homework has been done by the company. So I think you need to give in some more time. Maybe the next 6 months are going to be better than the first half for M&M Finance, and hopefully FY27 should also be a lot better. So I think with agri demand picking up, agriculture production going up, you could definitely see M&M Finance doing better. So I would suggest him that he should hold on. He should not worry about the volatility on a daily basis.
Okay, all right. So that's in regards to where M&M Finance is concerned. The next question that we have is. With regards to where Camlin Fine is concerned, and this is from Satyan, who's writing us from Trichur. He wants to know, and this is a slightly long query. What he's asking is that Camlin Fine Chem, what he's saying is that he's advised to shift from chemicals and allied to something like Aarti Industries or Natco or something like alkylamines, and he wants to know if he can get a perspective whether this is the right thing to do or not. Today, in fact, there was an INCRED note which has hiked the target price for Camlin Fine Chem, and they've tagged, the target price that they've given is 480 for this counter. So, Avinash, I'll come to you on this one. A very specific query. Do you think that's the right thing to do?
No, I think, my guess is Camlin Fine can definitely be held on. But one particular observation about this company is that it's got a very volatile track record. And I think chemical space is one thing where currently I would say that, we would prefer to observe the Q3 numbers, because second half is typically a stronger period for most of the chemical companies. Camlin Fine is a specialty chemical company, has a good growth trajectory. But I think once you get the Q3, I think a fresh review can be considered. But till that time, I think, they have a decent order book. The growth trajectory looks decent. So I think he should hold on. Wait for the Q3 numbers and then we can take a fresh review. So I think no fresh buying suggested, but continue to hold the position.
Okay, all right. So that's in regards to where Camlin Fine Chem.
So our next caller, this is coming in from Gujarat, and Bharat has a stock query for us. Bharat, very good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Good morning to you all.
Good morning, Bharat. Go ahead.
I have 1,000 shares of Bombay Dyeing purchased at 152 per share. Should I hold on, add or exit?
And Bharat, did you buy into this counter with a long-term or a short-term view?
Yeah, long-term view.
Long-term view, got it. Let me go across to Avinash then. Avinash, on Bombay Dyeing, any quick view? Bharat has bought it at 152, stocks trading at 126.
No, I think, Puneet, the real trigger for Bombay Dyeing is not from their core business, but from the real estate piece, which they hold. So I think for a very long time, the markets are expecting that real estate would actually trigger a big opportunity for Bombay Dyeing. So I think, if the investor can hang on for a slightly longer period, we feel that, yes, the company does hold a very large real estate piece in Mumbai. And if that can be monetized in a big way, that could definitely be the next re-rating trigger for the company. So I think, the core business continues to grow at a steady pace, but that is not where the market is looking at. So I think you can hold on for the next 12 to 15 months. Hopefully, if something happens there, I think you could see a good re-rating happening here.
Okay, moving on to the next question that we have. This is from Jassi, who's writing us from Vijayawada, and asking about Ellenberry Industrial Gases. He's bought it since the IPO. Wants to know if this is a good time to add more for the next 3 years. Avinash, your view on this?
Yeah, I think they are definitely market leaders in their business segment. I think if the investor can definitely hold on for the next couple of years, I think definitely one could expect a decent upside. So it's a well-established player, a long legacy player in this business. So continue to hold, and I think even if you want to buy it, I think keeping a time frame of 2 years, it definitely can give a good risk reward.
Got the view, Avinash?
On Asian Paints. And the viewer has bought 200 shares at the levels of 29402 years back and is continuing to hold this. Should he continue to hold this from a long-term perspective? Avinash, now is the time where everybody is waiting for a turnaround for Asian Paints, and of course the quarter gone by has seen volume growth. This quarter also you'd expect growth coming in on the back of low base as well. Would you recommend him to continue to hold?
Yeah, I think, see, considering the level of competition, but I think macro tailwinds have been quite positive. Crude prices are soft. Rural demand is expected to be good. My sense is that despite the fact that he's purchased at a slightly higher level, if he can hang on for the next, say, another year or so, I think definitely, prospects look definitely much better than what they were earlier. Hopefully, if the raw material prices are kept under control and volumes grow by 5-6%, then I think Asian Paint should definitely bounce back. So continue to hold.
The next one that's coming in is on Reliance Industries, and this is from Rishikesh from Pune. It's a stock. Is it a good time to add given the correction that we've seen in the last 2 to 3 days?
Yeah, Puneet, looking at Reliance, I think normally one makes money in Reliance when, obviously the stock doesn't perform. And I think 1500 to 1480 is a good level to accumulate. Even at the current levels, if the investor can wait for maybe the 12-15 months, I sense that quarter three should be reasonably good. GRMs are definitely at good levels. So the Q3 performance for the oil and gas business should be pretty good. And plus, my sense is that next year, hopefully after March, the markets are expecting some value unlocking from the retail kind of unit. So that itself will also give a pretty good, decent return. But I think you need to take a slightly longer term view. In the short term, the stock may remain a little bit, volatile.
Okay, all right.
Avinash on ICICI Pro AMC, he's got 6 shares. I know it's a recent listing, but what he's asking is if he should buy more right now for the next 12 to 18 months at least. Would you recommend this particular transaction, and should Gautam add into it right now?
Yeah, I think my guess is that he should wait for the quarter three numbers. Although numbers are going to be good, typically what we see, Puneet, is once the numbers are out, there is a little bit of selling which comes in. So my sense is that yes, the numbers are for quarter three are going to be very solid. It's one of the large players in the mutual fund industry. Definitely numbers will be better, but I think probably you could get some opportunity once the Q3 numbers are announced, some profit booking happens, because longer term, if he wants to make value, then I think he needs to get in at a slightly lower level, which can give him a better alpha over the next, say, couple of years.
Got that view, Avinash. But we have another query now coming in from Hyderabad. And Rajesh has a stock query for us. Rajesh, very good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Hi. Hi, very good morning. Good morning to everyone over there. I'm Rajesh from Hyderabad. My question is with regards to Ashok Leland. I bought it at 140 rupees, 250 shares. Currently, I'm standing at a profit. My question is to know the long-term view on this. Can I accumulate more at this point?
And Rajesh, any other auto ancillary or auto company that you hold in your portfolio apart from Ashok Leyland?
This is the only.
This is the only one. Okay, Rajesh, you've definitely gotten at a decent price, or almost sitting at a decent profit, because you caught it at the up move. So congratulations for that. Avinash on Ashok Leyland. My question largely because while of course on the long term, do you think that the move has been quite stark in the last few months? So do you think that it will continue, given that the government capex hasn't yet picked up for the CV cycle to have that macro factor yet?
No, I think my guess is, Puneet, the second half for Ashok Leyland, overall for the commercial vehicle sector looks to be quite strong. And I think, Ashok Leyland also has some exposure on the defense side. So I think he should continue to hold. My sense is the second half of FY26 should be significantly better than the first half. And hopefully, with the GST cuts, with the rate cuts happening, I think the tailwinds in the commercial vehicle sector are slowly improving. So I think, it's better to hold. He could expect a decent risk reward over the next, say, 6 to 12 months, even from the current levels.
Okay.
He's very interesting. Coming from Vanita Bala. She's from Kuwait. So thank you so much, Vanita, for sending across your query and asking, if it's a good buy at the current levels for Syrma or Dixon. That's a query. And Avinash, let me come to you. Firstly, any quick view that you have on Dixon Tech? Because recently, Avinash, we've seen a massive sell-off, lows being hit on this counter. Largely, what started with Keynes has now been one of the biggest impact on this counter as well. Your quick view, firstly on Dixon as well, and Syrma, if it's on your buy radar right now.
No, I think, in most these companies, my sense is that valuations are fair to expensive. And I think, the markets are now looking at these kind of companies operating in this space with little caution. What happened with Keynes Technology was definitely an issue related to corporate governance, which the management later on clarified. My sense is, Puneet, in these kind of companies, it's better to take a pause. December quarter will be important. Markets will like to know what's the kind of growth outlook the management shares. Because typically, at these levels, if there's any small negative surprise, also the stock would get beaten down badly. So my sense is that, rather than buying immediately now, wait for the quarter three numbers. Some more clarity would come in once the results are out, the management commentary comes post the conference call, and that would be a good time to actually accumulate the stocks if the growth trajectory continues to remain solid. So I think not advisable to buy at these levels, both stocks as of now.
Okay.
That's coming in is on Ashapura Mine Chem. Now it's an interesting one because KPS Rao from Bengaluru is actually sitting at a 6x profit at this because he's bought it almost 4 years ago at 120 rupees. So firstly, Mr. Rao, congratulations on the gains. I wish you would have called us and told us what you saw in the company at that time. He's asking that if it's a good time to book some profits given the gains. Avinash, do you track this counter and any view for what Mr. Rao should do?
No, I think clearly Ashapura Minechem looks to be a very strong investment call for the investor. I think they make a product called bentonite. And I think, now since the investor has made almost 6x returns, Puneet, I think it makes sense that, some profit booking is advisable, despite the fact that, the company's overall performance is expected to be good. I think in these kind of little illiquid stocks, it makes sense to take out your capital. So I think book at least say 25-30% of your profits, and I think the rest of the quantity can be held on. The company continues to do well, and our sense is that FY26 should be another record year for the company.
Okay, all right. It's time for our second rapid fire round. Avinash and Ajit, you both know the drill. Try to keep your answers as short as possible. The first question that we have is from Aparna, who's writing us from Singapore, asking about PVR Inox. She's holding 55 shares. What are the levels of 1138? From a long-term view, can she continue to hold? Avinash, your view?
Yeah, continue to hold.
Privy Specialty, is it a good time to...
Yeah, I think one can definitely accumulate at the current level, but keep a time frame of 12-15 months.
Zessi is the next one. Shahid wants to know if he can accumulate at these levels. His average price is 384. 30 shares is what he has. Avinash, your view on this?
Yeah, I think he can average.
Cummins India, long-term view, Avinash?
I think Cummins can definitely be held on. If you've got the share already, continue to hold.
Self-Soft Technologies, Avinash, your view?
I think continue to hold for long term.
So Xavier, is this a good time to buy from long-term perspective? And Avinash, your view?
No, I think if you have, hold it, but no fresh buy.
Grow or Lenskart, Avinash, I know it's a recent listing, but any view that he can enter right now for the long term?
I think Grow would be a better bet.
Okay, LG Electronics, should I enter right now from a long-term perspective? Avinash, your view?
Yeah, I think if you have a 12 to 18 month time frame, you can definitely buy at current price.
Urban Company holding at the levels of 155. Should I average, sell or hold? Avinash, your view?
So I think avoid. If you have not purchased it, avoid.
Satvik Green, Avinash, any view?
Continue to hold. I think because it's a large solar player, so continue to hold. Good long-term prospects.
So that brings us to the end of this round of rapid fire segment. Avinash, thank you so much for taking us through those queries and of course giving your expert insights.